Hey guys, Nick from Gimme Fuel Garage. In this episode, it's a Beryl update. So the last time you seen Beryl, she was in a bit of a sorry state. I was knee deep in metalwork at the time. I think I might have been cutting out the floor, or either cutting out the floor or the boot floor, I think, when we last kind of updated what we were at. So lots happened since then. We've gone through the majority of the car, the metalwork. I think there's only one tiny little bit of metalwork to be done on the car, and that will get done fairly shortly. So here's a couple of pictures of how the car looked the last time you seen it. Might have been a little bit before, a little bit after. We've done a lot since then. The car has had its full floor. Once the floor was done, welded and put in the car, we ended up cleaning it back, etch priming any of the bare metal areas that we had that were left over after plugging up some of the drainage holes. We then epoxy primered the full floor. It had 2 coats of epoxy primer. It then had two heavy coats of Gravitex, which was white. We then put 2 coats of 2K top coat in inky yellow on the bottom of it, and after that we used a high strength 2K clear coat over the top of the top coat. So all in all, it had etch primer, Gravitex, the paint colour, the top coat, and also a clear coat. So that's 4 layers of protection on the underside of the car. It's had the 2 rear arches replaced. It's had a full boot floor, including the rear seat squab. It's had the valance closing panels, subframe panels. All of the rear end has been replaced. In the front end, it had the 2 front inner wings have been replaced, complete from the door hinge panel right through to the front panel. It's had a couple of little small localized repairs that were done on the heel bore, just bits in the corners that were starting to go, so they were replaced before having the floor put on properly. It's had the front end done, so it's had the 2 front wings, the front panel, the closing sections underneath the scuttle. It's had a full heritage scuttle put on, and it's had a few bits and pieces, like a few bits of repairs here and there, just obviously that when you've been pulling panels apart that we've had some damage. Here's a couple of shots of how the car looks just now. And the next step of this journey with this car is hopefully to get the engine bay in epoxy primer and painted the top coat, which is the inky yellow, so that I can get the subframe that I've got built up ready to go into the car. I don't necessarily want to fit the frame and then have to mask everything off to then try and repaint the engine bay with everything in it. I'll guarantee it, if I was to paint it like that, I'd get overspray on stuff, and I don't want that. So we're going to try and do the best that we can with what we've got. We've built up the front frame, we've built up the rear frame. Pretty much everything that's going onto the car now at this stage is either new or refurbished, and that seems to be setting the tone for how we're going to be building this car anyway. So thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like and subscribe. Yeah, next up is going to be working on the 850. We've got that at a stage now where we can start digging into it and start pulling things off the car. We've create some storage space for the parts that are going to be coming off the car, and we've also got some space out the front of the garage, so hopefully it can be put on a rotisserie and we can get a right good look at the metalwork and start bracing up and cutting some stuff out. That's when it starts to get exciting. So remember, yeah, get back out in the garage, guys, and get stuck in.